My dying sister asked my fiancé to pretend to love her until the end, and my mother called it a small favor. When I tried to tell her it wasn't small, she sighed and said, "Your relationship will have years to recover. Judy has weeks." I stared at her in disbelief. That was 3 weeks ago. Now I'm not sure if I even have a mother left. My fiancé Daniel and I were deeply in love. We had been together 2 years, lived in a cozy rental with a leaky bathroom light, and were planning a wedding this fall. We weren't planning on having it so soon, but for the sake of my sister Judy, we needed to. She'd been sick on and off since the end of high school. First it was leukemia, then remission, then it came back with a vengeance. The kind of story where you brace yourself for the ending long before anyone says the words. Judy had this softness about her. People always said she was too sweet for this world. I used to hate that, like it meant she was already halfway gone. When Daniel and I got engaged, we invited the whole family over for dinner. I made a roast that dried out a little and Judy laughed and said it was still better than hospital food. She wore this blue head wrap that brought out the color in her eyes. For a moment, I let myself believe we could have a normal night. Then she collapsed in the middle of dessert. The hospital gave us the news. The cancer had spread to her lungs and liver. They told us months at first, but you could see it on the doctor's face. It wasn't going to be months. We put everything on hold. The wedding, the apartment search, everything became about Judy. She moved in with me and Daniel so we could take care of her full time. It felt like the right thing. It was the right thing, but something started to feel wrong. Judy began asking Daniel to do little things. Could he bring her tea? Could he help her adjust the blankets? Could he go on a short walk with her when she couldn't sleep? At first it felt innocent. She was dying. Of course we'd go above and beyond, but after a while it stopped feeling like caretaking. She'd smile when he walked into the room in this way I hadn't seen before. She laughed too long at his jokes. She clung to his arm when they walked even though she never used to. I tried to brush it off. I told myself I was being sensitive. Then one night I saw her sketchbook open on the couch. Judy loved to draw. She never showed anyone her art, but there were pages and pages of Daniel. Not just recent ones. Some looked old. Him laughing. Him sitting at the dinner table. Him in a hoodie from a year ago. Dozens of pages. I didn't say anything. Not then. I just stared at it and felt something in me pull tight. Later that week, our mom, Margaret, pulled Daniel aside in the kitchen. I don't know exactly what she said. I just remember her voice was soft and her eyes didn't blink. She said something like, "If you can ease her pain, even a little, wouldn't it be worth it?" Daniel got quiet after that. He'd stare at Judy when she was sleeping. His hands would shake sometimes. He stopped making eye contact with me as much. Then the doctors told us it wasn't months. It was weeks, maybe less. That night, Judy asked to talk to both of us. She was in her robe. Her voice was barely there. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. She said she had one wish, just one, and she knew it was selfish. She said she'd been in love with Daniel for years. She said she never planned to tell anyone, but now, with time running out, she wanted to ask. She asked Daniel if he would pretend, just for a little while, just until the end. She said she wanted to feel what it was like to be in love and have that love returned, even if it wasn't real, even if it was just pretend. She looked at me when she said it, her eyes filled with tears. I think she expected me to say it was okay, to give her that, because she was dying, because she was my sister. I couldn't speak. I just stood there, frozen. My heart was thudding in my ears and all I could think was, how dare you? Daniel didn't say anything either. He looked like someone had ripped the floor out from under him. His hands were balled into fists at his sides. He looked at me, then at her, then back at me, but he said nothing. That night he left the house and didn't come back for hours. When he finally did, he said he needed space. He slept on the couch. That was 2 days ago and we've barely spoken since. My mom called yesterday asking how things were going. I couldn't bring myself to tell her what Judy had asked. Instead, I just said we were managing.